I once stood in the chilling shadows of the Lima Cathedral, a vault of forgotten memories. It was here that Henry Dobyns found numbers that would rattle the foundations of human history. What if I told you the Americas in 1491 were more populous and bustling than London or Paris? 100 million souls evaporated in less than a century, leaving behind a silent continent. Don't be fooled by the wilderness. It is a massive cemetery disguised as a prehistoric jungle. In 1953, Dobyns realized the truth. The Spaniards arrived, and the Indians died at a staggering speed. Smallpox traveled hundreds of miles ahead of the conquerors, killing millions before they ever saw a white man. The great Inka emperor died of this plague, sparking a civil war that tore the empire apart from within. 168 Spaniards took down a kingdom of millions, not with steel, but with invisible biological weapons. Central Mexico alone was twice as crowded as China or India, until the White Death arrived. In 1539, De Soto brought an invisible army, 300 pigs, mobile meat lockers, and biological triggers. The pigs transmitted anthrax and TB to the deer, wiping out 96% of the Mississippi Valley's population. When the French arrived a century later, 50 bustling towns had vanished without a single trace. Dobyns estimated a mortality rate of 95%, a scale of catastrophe the world has never truly acknowledged. The Indians were virgin soil. Their genetic homogeneity made them as vulnerable as glass. "90% shared type O blood, meaning entire villages fell sick at once. No one was left to care for the dying. The explosion of wildlife was a symptom of a dying ecosystem that had lost its human managers. Are we inventing millions of ghosts? Are these just numbers from nowhere? If millions lived in the Amazon, why do we find only pottery and empty earthworks?
Meggers believed the rainforest was an ecological trap, never capable of feeding a true city.
But geoglyphs at Acre prove otherwise. Humans didn't adapt to the forest, they engineered it. I have touched 4,000-year-old cotton silk, evidence of high society flourishing before Sumer was even born. Caral was thriving while Europe was still a frozen wasteland. Who was primitive now? Corn is a biological masterpiece engineered by Native Americans from a useless wild grass called Teosinte. The milpa is the only farming system that has remained sustainable for 4,000 years without destroying the soil. They shaped the continent with flame, creating park-like forests for hunting and gathering.
Las Casas called the Americas a beehive of humanity, where God had placed all of mankind. Writing without ink. These 7-bit binary knots encoded the entire history of the Inca Empire.
This black earth is a gift from the past that could save millions from global hunger today.
When those sails appeared, a world of noise and industry began its long walk into eternal silence.
From this height, I realized history is far larger and more vibrant than any textbook allowed us to see. Unity of the clans, represented here.
We call it the Great Law.
I see it now, the model for a unified republic. They calculated time across 63 million years, an intellect that dwarfs our modern imagination. I am a man of corn, they told me. Their legacy still feeds the world every single day. The truth doesn't lie in the wilderness, but in the genius of those who built this landscape. Even Pizarro's mummy cannot tell the full tragedy of a continent that was erased. Disease is an old tragedy, still capable of wiping out a tribe in a matter of weeks. 100 million people. They lived, loved, and built. They deserve to be named correctly by history. Perhaps today's global crises are the price for our ignorance of those who came before us. While Europe was a frozen wasteland, man built fortresses from Alaska to the tip of Chile. Just as the Sphinx teaches us to master the beast, the ancients teach us how to shape the future. This world has levels deep beneath the surface, far beyond what we are permitted to see. The search for truth has just begun. Are you ready to be reborn twice? The past isn't dead. It's just waiting for us to wake up.